Daybreak Show on Rock City, 101.9 FM. It's time for citizens from On the Daybreak Show. You're welcome on board. I am Tobi Joseph.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Good morning.
Well, Chienye, a lot has been said about the so-called uh, coalition to actually rescue Nigeria. It's taken different dimensions, different shades, a different color, and different shape. Just last week, we had the official launch of the Coalition for Nigeria movement, CNM, here in Abeokuta, the state capital, where we had the former president, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, personally registering with the movement. You had the national coordinator of the CNM also in attendance, talking about Prince Olagunsoye Oyelola, former governor of Osho State. You also have former governor of Cross River State, uh, Donald Duke, who is also part of the coordinating team of the CNM. You also have another National Intervention Movement, NIM, as it also being championed by the likes of Professor Wole Soyinka, Chief Doctor Isaac Bakuba. Of course, Pastor Ture Bakar is also joining that coalition. And Obieze Kwesili is also part of the NIM, National Intervention Movement. And soon to come, you also have the Federalist National Movement, FNM. So you begin to wonder, these are movements, as it were, and we also have the Coalition for Nigeria project. And that even came before the Coalition National Movement of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Actually, they are even trying to drag Baba to court, or they're actually accusing the former president of stealing their idea of Coalition for Nigeria project. Well, in all this, you realize that there is a growing discontent and disenchantment on the part of the people towards the government of the day and, of course, the party in power. And more so, the former ruling party, now the main opposition party, the People's Democratic Party. Ordinarily, what Nigerians are used to or have been used to is the fact that when one party is on power, the main opposition party will actually get up and try to steal the show once elections are here. But is this so? Are Nigerians really considering the main opposition party as the alternative? Or are they seeing this movement or coalitions or whatever shape and size you want to look, or the nomenclature they might take, as the real alternatives? Have Nigerians actually lost hope totally, not only in the ruling party, but also in the main opposition parties or other opposition parties? So when you hear that a coalition is being formed here, a national movement is being formed here as a means to actually changing the order of things in the country, and of course to get the ruling party out of power, you begin to wonder, is this not an indictment on the opposition parties? Is it not that these parties are nothing but mushroom parties and they are nothing but toothless bulldogs? They can't bite, especially when it comes to the electoral value. Is it that they have nothing to offer Nigerians, and Nigerians have not really looked at them beyond the surface value that they might represent? That is exactly what we want to look at this morning. Call or Coalition for National Movement, National Intervention Movement, Federalist National Movement, or whatever nomenclature you may want to call call the movement or coalition. Is it an indictment on the opposition parties? That is what we're looking at this morning. And we have someone in the house to help us look at this. We have the chairman of the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN, in Ogun State, Mr. Bola Oyedele. You're welcome to the Daybreak Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's been a while. Now, a lot has been said about the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, APC. Nigerians were actually praying or actually waiting for the main opposition party, the PDP, to get their act together resolve their internal squabbles and wranglings, and then present a formidable opposition and put the government on its toes, and of course the ruling party, the APC. Now, would you say that that has been achieved?
Once again, good morning, and let me say Happy New Year to every staff of Rock City. Because I've been here since January 1, and it is an opportunity to say Happy New Year to everybody.
What we should say?
To the management and the entire staff. Now, coming back to the question. First and foremost, as an opposition party, let me first of all analyze what is the job of opposition, and two, the reason for coalition. One, opposition party has it as a duty to checkmate whoever that is in position of authority. That's number one, because that's the only way to develop democracy. That is the only way in which the ruling party will be on their toe every time they want to put up anything. Because if they are not being checkmate, definitely they can go astray and think that everything is going on fine. Having said that, too, if you look at it very well, you will recall that when this government was about to come on board, there are a lot of vola value everywhere. They talk about, they indict the former government, but without getting their heart together to know that even if we get it, these are the things we're going to put up. That's number one thing. Then after getting to the power now, rather than sitting down and analyzing things and coming out to term with the situation of things in the country, they took us about 6 months first and foremost before they can settle down, before we even have the ministers. That has even been the worst scenario in Nigerian government. But being that as it may, to me, opposition has not failed this country from all I can analyze here. But you cannot indict, it is not an indictment on opposition to have the coalition. Rather, I believe it is the fault of the ruling government. If we are having a coalition now, coalition here, coalition there, I thank you for mentioning the CNN, which is Coalition for New Nigeria. That was formed July last year, ever before the coalition of National Movement of Baba Obasanjo and others. So opposition has been getting themselves together, getting their heart together to look at things critically, to know how to analyze things, to know how to talk to the masses that, okay, these are the things that is happening in corridor of power, and we need to change the changers, if you can permit me to use that word. But being that as it may, I believe the opposition has not failed the country. No.
Okay, you made mention of the reasons for the coalition.
Yeah.
Can you give us the reasons why we should have a coalition movement?
Good, thank you. If you as a landlord of a house, you put up everything in a perfect order in your house, when the tenant comes in, he may not have anything to add to it. But if the landlord has failed in his area, in his or her area, then that is when you have a tenant coming into the house and say, oh, this thing is not arranged well. We need to plant flower here. We need to put this one here. Coalition cannot come up if the government is doing the needful. Coalition is coming up because of the challenges we are facing in this country now. You know everything that we read in the newspapers, and everybody knows what is happening. And for coalition to come on board, it means the government itself should be blamed for having this strong coalition almost every corner. You know, I said earlier on that about 30 political parties formed the Coalition of New Nigeria July last year. They are doing it on the ground without making noise about it. But for people now to be coming up, what do we call them? These critics, the social critics, the people from the law, from the bar, from this, and coming up to form coalition, it means the government is not doing the right thing. That's a simple analogy. That's a simple way to analyze it. If they are doing the right thing, there wouldn't be need for coalition. It is not indictment on the opposition, but it is an indictment on the ruling party now.
Okay, you said the ruling party is not doing the needful.
Yeah.
And so the coalition. So are you now saying the coalition movement will take us to the promised land?
Well, because they are here to tell us which party they are coming up with. But I believe when you see a fish dancing on top of the river, the drummer is under the river. Something surely will come up very soon. But to me, because there is the only way to come to power, to take the power anywhere, any democratic country, is through ballots. If a coalition is not a political party, and they say they are forming coalition, like the one I mentioned earlier, the CNN, they are parties. There are different ways of forming coalition. Coalition can be in form of saying, okay, party A, B, C, D, we are presenting a single candidate because we believe in that candidate. There will be an agreement. If that is what is happening, then good. But this one that they are forming, I wouldn't know where they are going. Maybe they are still coming up with their party, or maybe they are going to pick one of the parties that is in existence. So, but let's cross our finger and watch what will happen.
Now, a school of thought believe that this call for coalition and movement is nothing but a gimmick. That it is nothing but a move to actually grab power because of the elements who are in it, trying to form these coalitions, have lost out either in the APC or they have lost out in the PDP. What's your reaction to that?
It depends from the angle you look at it. Like I said, the only way to get to power is by ballot. Good. Then on these people that have lost out in the A, B, C, D, it is neither here nor there. But to me, I believe one thing. If things are going on wrong, and we have people that think that these things as it is going is not right, please let us put our heart together, because we have this only Nigeria to call our country. And I don't believe anybody is indispensable. If you think what is happening today does not concern you, then that means you are not patriotic. Everybody knows what is happening in the country today. And we must all be concerned. And we must put our heart together. And we must we must design a way forward. All this coalition, to me, it may come from a wrong person. It may come from a right person. It may come from people that we might think, we would say, okay, this person is this, that. But to me, if you have good intention of this country, when you go a little bit quiet, at your quiet time and you study things, you will weep for this country. I'm telling you, things are deteriorating. Life has no meaning any longer. People are being killed every day, even here in Ogun. But nobody, I don't think the media carries the killings, not all the killings. For instance, at Ewekuru, an headmistress and a teacher was macheted by Fulani henchmen, and no news has carried it. And when a life is being lost, you should have feel that, okay, this life has dependence. It's from a family. You must be concerned. At times, tears roll out of my eyes. At times when I see things that is going wrong in Nigeria, a woman for that matter, and headmistress. And so, for that reason, when you know that things are going on wrong, I think the best way to go about it is just to sit down and say, okay, this is what we are going to do. I think that is the position we meet ourselves today.
Now, when you say this is what we're supposed to do, is that thing we're supposed to do this coalition or movement?
Well, there are different ways and different what I can call, you can handle, there are different ways in which you can kill a fowl.
Okay.
You can use knife. You can put it inside hot water. You can just squeeze the neck. All you wanted to achieve is to kill the cow, right? I mean the chicken.
Yes.
So if the reason now from all people that are now organizing themselves is through coalition. If I pray we get something tangible and something good out of it, you will recall during Yakubu Gowon era, when he led this country for 9 years, it was very difficult for anybody to complain, if you can recall. Nobody thinks about, oh, he has spent 2 years, he has spent 3 years, he has spent 10 years, because then things are going on well. Those are the days we have Udoji of this world. People, when you come out of school, you get employment. When you want, food is so sufficient, so surplus in this country. Can we say the same thing today? Even though we know he was removed through coup, but at the same time, I don't think the hardship can be pronounced or is as enormous, even 10% of what we are having today.
Okay, don't you think it's better we sit down and work on this so that we can have a way forward? And rather than having the coalition movement being the best bet, we talk about hardship in Nigeria. We know things are difficult, times are biting hard, but is coalition what we need to do right now?
You see, a radical situation demands a radical approach. The challenge we are facing in this country, if we are attacking it through every angle, I don't think it's too much for us. All like I said, when I use the analogy of this chicken killing, you see, the only thing we must have in mind is just a single goal, single idea. Please, let's forge ahead. Let's move on. If what we have in mind is just to ensure that we move on, you can attack it from any angle. But not through lawless way. It has to be, we all have to be a law-abiding citizen, and we must carry our actions and whatever we want to carry out through by law. The law says you can only be in government through ballots. But if it is through alliance, form an alliance, party ABC form an alliance, or party 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forming coalition, and at the end of the day we are out of this problem we are having now, I don't think it is too much. But to say we should put our hand together and be watching, no, we must not be watching. We must talk, we must speak.
Now, let us look at the success,
okay,
the potential success of this coalition and national movement. You know how difficult it is. You've contested elections, so you know how difficult it is to galvanize support and mobilize the people at the grassroots to support your party, your candidates in elections. Do you see these coalitions and movement having the same structure that political parties have, and then galvanize the necessary support to actually change the changer that you actually mentioned?
Thank you. Why do we have it so difficult to let the masses know our mind? Or why do we find it so difficult to carry the downtrodden, the grassroots people along with us in the electoral process? I think that is the first question because I just changed your question now. The problem we are having in this country are the elites. With all due respect to those who among some of them that has interest of this country at heart, the elite doesn't want the downtrodden to know their right. Their right from their left. If, for instance, if things are going on well, and my own child can go to school, your own child can go to school, and we make things so easy for them to get out of ignorance, you know it will not be difficult for us to carry them along. But as it is today, only the rich are getting richer, while the poorer are even going to their grave. Not getting poorer this time, they are going to their early grave. And I think that is not right. So to me, I strongly believe that we need to, like for instance, if you recall the so-called confab, or what, I don't know what they call it, the last one. I can't remember it now. But that is the only solution to the problem we are having in this country. Yes, coalition can assist. Coalition can get us out of this it's that one is like a short term, because
Measure.
short term measure, because we are very close to election now. I think you understand that. We are getting closer to election. If through this coalition or through the alliance or whatever, we can approach it, but it will just give all the politicians a lot of job to do, to let the downtrodden, like you said, the commoner know that, okay, this is what we are doing now, and please be part of it, and this blah 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 blah. But it will take time. It will take time.
Okay, now let us go back to how we started.
Okay.
This 68 political parties registered by INEC. If we remove APC and the PDP, that means we have 66 political parties registered. Does it not make nonsense of these political parties if new coalitions and movements are being formed and people are joining this movement? Is it not a very strong indictment and a strong statement for Nigerians that these parties are not needed or they are actually useless?
I want you to change that useless. Don't say useless, please. Today, I was on this program some times ago when you asked the same question, and my answer to you, I will still repeat that in democracy, you don't limit numbers of political parties. Why? It may take time for people to know. Because first and foremost, how many voters in Nigeria care to read even the manifestos of the parties before they vote? Let me tell you this, you can have all these giants of this world as political party. APC, PDP, ABGA, Labour, and every other party. But the time we sit down and study the program of each parties, that's the only time we can move out of this. Until we stop voting the power, those people that are hefty, those people that has all this money of this world, and we look at people that has mindset of make a change in this country. For instance, look at Green Party in what is that country? I think France, if I'm not mistaken. How many years have they been nurturing Green Party? They said green, and what was the concept of that green? That okay, let's put grass, beautify the town. Let's stop using polluted vehicles in our country, like these energy vehicles that they are building or they are constructing, bringing to market now. But that party has been in the system for over 20 years, my brother. But today, they are in control. It may take time.
Okay, you made mention of having the mindset to make a change. And don't forget that the present government that is in power now, they also had that mindset to make a change. So
it depends on the change you are talking about. At times you change the changer. When the person that brought the first change misbehave and miscalculate and think they want to take everybody for a ride.
So would it be out of place if these political parties can meet at a forum and then merge, as you had the ACN, the CPC, the ANPP, and of course the new PDP, and a faction of ABGA forming the now ruling party APC before the 2015 election?
Imagine at times, if you are coming together to merge, there's nothing bad in it. Nothing bad in it. But at times, without necessarily merging, you can collaborate. You can work together.
How?
Thank you. I said it earlier on. There was a time in this country when we have APP, All People's Party, of Baba Nnamdi Azikiwe, and the Unity Party of Nigeria works together and pick candidates against NPN. Rather than dividing their votes, they have single candidates in which the APP and UPN will vote for is that single candidate and which can give them headway. You understand? So 2, 3, 4, 5 parties can come together and say, okay, Mr. Joseph, we want you to be governor of Ogun State. Having studied your past records, we believe in you. We 5 parties have chosen Mr. Joseph to be our candidates. And we know you have your own party. So all our members will now vote for your party because the trust they have in you. Do you understand? So things like that can happen. Not necessarily, it's not that important that we must march together. No. Because don't forget, in this country, how many are we in this country? We are over 170, because people say 180. Some people even say we are up to 200 million. But I am sure, certainly, because what you are sure of is what you can say. At least I know we are more than 170 million. So if 170 million has a political party, I don't think it is bad. You know, the last time I came here, I answered it this way. Some party, they don't bloody care about who rules in Abuja. All they care about is we want to have our candidates as councillors within our jurisdiction. Somebody who is well known, who is well respected within that corner. And they believe in him that when he's in the council, he will bring things that will put smile into their faces, to their area. That might be their target. They might just think, okay, we just want to be put up candidates for position of councillors, chairmanship of the local government, and that's all. We are okay with that. We are contented with that. And whereas some people will tell you, okay, we want to rule even the entire Africa. So it is 2 different things.
Okay, Baba Obasanjo said in his statement that if there will be a change in this country, then the people that will bring about this change will be the women and the youth. So what's your take on having the women and youth participate in this movement?
Thank you. I like this question. It's a question in fact, this is the only question I would love so much in this program. 1999 was the beginning of this new democracy, right? Those children that were on the streets by 1999, who were about 5 years, 10 years, that time, not yet grown up to vote, are the one that will participate most in 2019 election. I don't know if you get the point. My point is this. Even those children that were born in 1999, they must have their PVC now. Is that not true? Some of these children, they don't know who is Awolowo. They were just reading it on newspapers. In fact, may God continue to strengthen Baba Obasanjo. Some of them, by the next 10 years, they don't know. They will just be hearing Baba Obasanjo, this and that. They won't know that he has been a military head of state before. But they will read that. They might read that, okay, yes, Baba Obasanjo was the first president in this new democracy we are now. But they are the ones that will participate immensely in the next election. You recall, you will be shocked by the time the results will be coming up next election, because those ones we give, with all due respect to our elders, they will be the turning point. They will bring the turning point in democracy in Nigeria.
How? What is this turning point that you're talking
about? The turning point is, don't forget about the social apparatus everywhere.
The social media.
The social media. They are always on the internet. They know what they want. Any political party that neglects women and those ones, they are just wasting their time.
Now, let us look at the...
I'm coming, please. And I would love the women not to run away from politics. We are not here to... I don't want to talk about my politics. You will see that I've never talked about my party. We have some parties that recognizes the capability of women and youth. Women has 3 names to protect: their personal name, their spouse name, and their parents' name. That is why in some cases, I know we have some few of them that might misbehave, because I know we will talk about Alize Madweke, so don't go to that area. You remember, petroleum minister, please don't go to that area. That is 1 in thousands.
Really?
Yes. Women has what it takes to lead.
So why are we just seeing that now? Why didn't we look at that back then?
Because women are even, I don't know, can we say they are nervous? Can we say they are always afraid? Can we say they are, because at times
they were never given a voice because they're women.
They are women. You have to speak out. You have to come out. Nothing stops you from coming out to contest. If truly you know that, okay, I want to fight the cause of my contemporaries and my colleagues, there's nothing stops you from coming up. Because women, believe me, anything women are doing, they do it with all their conscience. They do it with all their time. They are always determined. You will never see them digressing. If you see them driving, you will notice when they are driving on the road, you don't see women looking up and down, in most cases like men.
Does that translate to better judgment? Does that translate to contentment in the face of millions of dollars? They won't be tempted to steal. They won't be tempted
I know. That's why I said I don't want you to go to that area. I've stopped you from that one, and I know you still driving.
Okay, quickly, let's look at this. Okay, quickly, let's look at this.
Okay.
If we're looking at having the young to lead the country, Nigeria, do you think the youths are ripe enough to take up this challenge, to entrust Nigeria in their care?
Yeah, and as an addendum to that question, because I'm still focusing on this opposition parties,
yes,
and of course, will the youth have a say and have their way in this coalition movement?
Thank you. First and foremost, let's look at who are the youths. The average age of youth, I think, starts from 18 to 35, if possible to 40. Is that do you believe in that?
Yes, go ahead.
Good. If you believe in that, believe me, age 18 to that 40 will be about 65% of the entire voters. If they can get their heart together, there is nothing those of us that has passed the bracket of 50s or close to 60 or after 60 can do to stop them. And to answer the issue or the question about will they have their way, are they experienced, will they have enough experience? Look, let us look at it from this angle. I mentioned General Yakubu Gowon in 1970s. He was just 29 years old, if I'm not mistaken, when he became head of state. And Baba Awolowo became Asiwaju Ile Yoruba at 30, if I'm not mistaken, I think 37 or 38. And we are looking at the age bracket of 18 to 40. So what are we talking about? If they can lead us that time, if Gowon can lead us at 29, in fact, he was not yet married when he became the head of state. And he led us well. What does he do in the first instance? He picked Baba Awolowo out of prison. He said, you are going to be my vice chairman. So that whenever he wanted to do something, he will consult Baba. Baba will tell him, Your Excellencies, sir, if you go this way, this will be the end result. So those young men cannot neglect the elderly ones. The good among the elderly. Because with all due respect, not all the oniki kagba ope ko se agba buruku.
All right, if you're just joining us, it's Citizens Forum on the Daybreak Show, Rock City 101.9 FM, right here in the city of Abeokuta, Abia State capital. You can listen to us live on our website, www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. And of course, we have the Rock City FM Parliament on WhatsApp. You can join the group. Discussion is also ongoing. You can start sending your questions to 32120, and of course comment. Or you have to do to type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to 32120. We have in the studio Mr. Bola Oyedele, the chairman of the People's Party of Nigeria, PPN, in Ogun State. We are looking at opposition politics and, of course, the new movement that have been launched here and there. The CNM has been launched. We are waiting for the launch of the NIM, that is the National Intervention Movement. And we also have the Federalist National Movement that is also going to be launched very soon. We already have a Coalition for a New Nigeria, CNN. So you begin to wonder, is it not an indictment on the opposition parties? About 62 or about 66 or 68, 67 opposition parties, because we have 68 registered parties in the country. We'll take this break for the national news. After that, we'll be back. Well, I don't understand the lyrics of that song, but I know that he's talking about Nigeria, and he can only be talking about progress, and that we should do everything to move the country forward. That is what we are also trying to do this morning on the Daybreak Show Citizens Forum. We have in the studio Mr. Bola Oyedele, the chairman of the PPN in Ogun State, looking at the different coalitions and the launch of the Coalition of Nigeria Movement, CNM, and the indictment on opposition parties in Nigeria. Have they failed? Is it that the people cannot identify with them, and that is why they are actually joining the fray of coalitions and movement? Quickly, before we begin to look at all the messages and tweets and all that have come in, Mr. Oyedele, quickly, let's look at the demographics of the votes come 2019. You know that the main base of the president, that is if he seeks re-election in 2019, is the Northwest and the Northeast. Now, you also look at the Southwest, which of course balanced the equation in his favor in 2015, which of course culminated in his victory. This time around, you see the PDP, which might likely bring its candidate from maybe the Northwest, for example, or maybe the Northeast, no matter where. That will also split the votes of the president in those in that zone. You have National Intervention Movement, you have a Coalition for Nigeria Movement, you have Coalition for a New Nigeria, you have the Federalist National Movement. Look at all this, and so many other political parties that might also do well in case they field candidates in the presidential election. Are they not only going to end up handing over or paving the way for the victory of the incumbent or ruling party by splitting each other's votes and make it a walk in the park for the sitting president?
Welcome back. If I should use that one.
Yes.
First and foremost, I will think the next general election may not produce the president in the first ballot, if what I'm looking at is anything to go by. We might need to have a runoff. And I'm very, very strong in thinking that next election, you will not have a single party producing 20 governors in Nigeria, if the fillers on ground has anything to do. Because you see, the coalition, as I explained earlier on, coalition can be in forms of working together, like saying, okay, let's pick a single candidate for this and that. But for thinking that we might have a split election next dispensation, yeah, it may happen, particularly if two strong party produces president from the same zone or from the same geopolitical area of the country. But as it is today, it will be very, very difficult for any party to even produce a governor in a state, because like I said earlier on, the young ones are the one that will do a lot of, they will participate immensely in the next coming election. They are the one, from the bracket that I put before you the other time, are the one that will determine who will rule this country. And that is why, had it been they can put their heart together, believe me, they will just remove the elderly ones, sincerely speaking. Because I can say the elders, the senior citizens, they have failed us. Let us, in all sense of respect and honor, let us be sincere with ourselves and tell ourselves the truth. Today, no light, no road, no water, even no security. So for the elderly one to think that they will be a tea party, no, it won't be a tea party in 2019. It won't be a tea party, but it will not. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about violence. No, but radical change may come up 2019.
All right, let us quickly go through the contributions that have come in so far on the show. Some tweet here. Odunto Olalekon Olushola tweeted this. He said, yes, it is a deliberate attempt by our politicians to cause confusion because most of these parties are mushroom parties. All right. Oluwolaju Samuel says, yes, how do you justify a political party that only has one governorship candidate in the state? Inactive party should be scrapped. They even confuse the electorate. Daniel Liazu says the registered parties are too many. How will the polling booth look like? Okay. Still talking about members of party. Dalani Robert says, I hear there are some of the members of OBJ's coalition for Nigeria movement. Olagoso Ilola, ex-PDP, ex-APC, Jerry Ghana, Rabi Kwakwanso, Governor, Cross River State, Ben Ayade. Judge for yourself if these folks end same of the same. Tunde Kafidipe says, APC came into government through coalition, and how many coalitions coming together for change in government? The problem is not really the political parties, but the personalities who make up and take decisions for the parties who needs to be changed. Two-party system is still the best for Nigeria. Okay, let's take more of the tweet. Donali Robert says there is a subtle difference between the Red Card movement and the Coalition for Nigeria. One is politically naive, the other is politically astute. This piece includes a piece of my succinct thoughts on how the CN may play out. Whether Coalition for Nigeria, Red Card movement, in all this braggadocio effort is wasted on dressy shadows, not on the dangerous substance, as nothing is said and done about the evil within the umpire and prayer, the INEC read machine manipulator. The Larry Roberts once again, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo should pursue a career in comedy. He said the two major parties, APC and PDP, are unfit to provide leadership, yet he's lobbying governors, senators and co from the aforementioned parties to join his coalition for Nigeria movement. Then who is fooling who? So now, those intellectuals in quotes who want a change of government have more options. Wike's PDP, Oyinlola's coalition for Nigeria movement, Al-Mustafa's Green Party of Nigeria, Okukwe's Accord Party, Fala's Social Democratic Party, etc. These same old politicians have packed themselves under a new umbrella they call Coalition for Nigeria movement, and some of my people will carry head and support them expecting new things. Please, if you can't vote right, then burn your PVC. Sakara Man Olayode says, I'm not against any coalition, but we know their ambition. Let them try their luck. It's a free world. Nigeria is extremely difficult to govern now. Larry Roberts once again. So OBJ accused at Muhammad Buhari of nepotism and then made his closest ally in the Southwest the coordinator of his coalition for Nigeria movement. So who is more nepotic now? Obasanjo is non-conflicted in his coalition for Nigeria movement. First, he wants it to remain an apolitical, non-aligned movement. On the other hand, he's enlisting 7 governors and 1,100 senators to form the coalition. With OBJ, the more you see, the more confused you become. Sakara Man, Olari says our elite is our problem. Oil blocks is now their personal property, not our national property. God bless Nigeria. Zechariah Olubayo says every voter should read political manifestos and stop collecting money and rise, etc. But 4 votes. Patriotism is all we needed. Tunde Kafidikwe once again, the ruling APC came to power through a coalition, and how many coalitions are springing up to change the changers? My opinion is the two-party system is the solution to the present political quagmire, as the people that operate and not the parties are the problem. Yemi Phillips Da Vinci. On a lighter note, I want to thank the chairman of PPN for offering the gubernatorial tickets to Tobi Joseph, who will campaign and vigorously vote for him confidently. All right, keep your vote, Yemi Phillips, because it's not my turf. Once again, Yemi Phillips, I partially agree with the PPN chairman on the failure of the Buhari experiment for the rise in coalition political movement. However, I disagree with him that opposition parties presently are strong and are playing their part enough. Most of these political parties are mushroom and briefcase political parties. I think it's a good thing that they are coming together to form political movements. Hopefully, they will coalesce and merge before 2019 elections. All right, that is also from Yemi Phillips Da Vinci. Olusegun says, is it the Nigerian constitution that makes INEC Nigeria powerless to trim down the number of registered political parties in the country instead of this mockery we are witnessing? Yemi Phillips once again, in my own estimation, the PDP is half past dead, and the Coalition for Nigeria movement is a backup plan for the presidential ambition of a former Northern State governor. All right, Yemi Phillips, that's his own opinion. Let's take some calls. We'll then come back to the tweets and messages. 32120 is the shortcode number. All you have to do is to type rock, leave a space, type your message, include your name, and send to the shortcode. At Rock City FM remains the Twitter handle. Good morning.
Good morning, Chienye. Good morning, our guest in there. I'm Bola Oyedele. I'm calling from Basalat. I want to say first it was nebulous, but now it seems to be less or gaining some form in the name of coalition. Now we know it is for the Puritans, the moralists, angels, faith, those with the righteousness of the sideline. Some people are even tagging the Salvation Army, the frontal force, the watchdog. Your statement that the coalition is not the indictment of the opposition, and also that there is a need to form a coalition. You make those two statements. I see both statements to be mutually exclusive. Both cannot be true at the same time. Either the one is stopping of the other. Now the coalition is now positioned to protect a Messiah complex, and we have started to see those and those that are the heads of the coalition, and we have begun to see where the allegiance are. How to ask those leaders that is where goes down or who benefits. Would this not be a party of disgruntled elements to achieve some ulterior motives? Or you did that leadership and women participation? I always ask this question: which youth? The best of the youth we have now and tested are no more than Rehoboam on the throne, and the women are no better than the biblical Jezebel and Atalaya, and by extension the Major Marcos. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Auntie Chienye and Mr. Tobi and our guests, good morning, sir. My name is Big Daddy calling from Abiola Way. Mr. Tobi.
Good morning.
I want to tell you the poor man prayer. God will see you. Rich man, I will deal with you. I want you to know that today Nigeria is nowhere to find. Instead of us to be going right, we are going wrong. Our guest, there's a thing that you spoke earlier on about multi-party system, or what's it called? Are you telling me about 68 something to run, to be observer in a polling unit? Don't you think that it will be rowdy? Over 60 to 70 parties to be the ballot paper when it is not calendar. May God help us, Nigeria. You will know that we are using the American system. They have only party system. Only two-party system. If you should be annoyed, you still go and do it your own and come, they will register you. Is it not child's play? We are moving fast at wrong track. Look at the Fulani express. Nobody seems to know a political party. Those people that came before that wanted to be in that seat, they did not be in that seat. And nobody should come out and tell them that what they are doing is not good. Hunger everywhere, killing, jumping into the lagoon. And you tell me, excuse me, sir. Hello?
I'm listening.
I'm with you.
Are you telling me that those people on seat now can voluntarily come down for the youth to be there? And our past president was saying that it's only going to be youth and the women. Is there any women that have about 4-5 million naira to take a ticket? Everybody just say what he likes and come back and tell us. You find a way to complete it with an English. May God help Nigeria. Have a nice day.
You too, Big Daddy. Thank you. Hello. Hello, we have you. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Who's on the line? Your name again? All right, Abiola. Is it Adiola or Abiola?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say we thank Peter for what you have just said this morning. But for the issue of Nigeria, the issue of solution is just about those people who have lost for the past 4 years now. For the past 3 years, when people sitting into power. Yes, they are looking for ways now to come back to power. That is why they are going to where they are going. You have to speak at the other time. Look at these people who are hiding the conditions now. Even we heard that the former governor of Ogun State is also going to be one of the coordinators. The same people who complain of, they are now coming back to power again. It's not Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you too. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Tobi.
Good morning.
Good morning, Chienye. My name is the guest in the house. Good morning, sir.
My brother,
My
good
name
morning.
is Dr. Uncle.
Doctor, you're a friend.
I hope, sir, you listen to the news, the coalition news from Babangida. Babangida said it today and changed. Those are the people we are still talking about coalition. Coalition for what? That is that one too. That's Babangida. Exactly. They are a confused bunch of people. We have political parties in this country. If you cannot join any of the political parties, go and sit down. What is all this coalition? Coalition for what? Are we bringing people from Israel or from Jerusalem or from Saudi Arabia? It's the same Oyinola, the same OGD, the same GNI, which are discredited. We have been discredited. Who discredited themselves? So what is this coalition? This is an attempt for people to create problems in this country. We will vote them out when the time comes. All these things, calculations, youth and all that. President, you said something. The Northerners don't have the city to talk about and start saying all sorts of things. They are massively registering, and when the time comes, they are going to floor all these evil they are talking about. But sir, there's something which is interesting to me. Anybody who comes on this forum talk about the insecurity, people are dying and all that. This. And I ask, are people just dying today? A serving Attorney General of the country died during Abasanjo's regime. Have you heard anything about it? So, because a teacher died, because Dr. Unkom died, so we must talk about it. A serving Attorney General, nobody, the country did not split. So what are we talking of insecurity? Was it not the Abasanjo's regime? A serving Attorney General. What are you talking of? Insecurity. There's no insecurity in this country. And you said life is cheap in Nigeria. I can challenge you, sir. When you leave the studio, hit someone on the road, and you know that life is not cheap in Nigeria. We may not be up there, but life is very, very expensive in Nigeria, sir. If you hit someone, you know that life is not cheap in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you too. Hello.
Let's take one more call before we...
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
My name is Godfrey. I come from Afia.
All right, thank you, Godfrey.
So that go figure cover technology. This is what I don't because you want them coming back to get a good one. To do what? I don't want them to come back to the government again. Why we want to compare for 2019? This is very bad. Let them go, let another people take over. We are trying Burundi and everything.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Okay, Mr. Bola, quickly react to all that has been raised.
I wouldn't know where to start from.
Start with the calls.
The
Sweet.
first is funny. Let me start from Godfrey. I just say thank you for calling, and it is not by emotion. You shouldn't be so emotional about it, but the truth is things are so difficult. No doubt about it. Back to Dr. Nkom. Unfortunately, Dr. Nkom has helped me in the past. He's my doctor, and he's a good friend. You will remember 1998 when I was hospitalized at FMC. He's the one that made me to walk on my leg today. So for that reason, I will respect him. I will respect his opinion. But at the same time, I want to put it to him that, yes, you can support whoever you choose to support, but you cannot turn your back to things that are not normal. If you say people are dying and this is not new, two wrong can never make a right. This one is careless and needless killing by henchmen. If people are dying of natural death, nobody is complaining about that. If crime was committed by the taking of our Attorney General life at Ibadan in those days, that does not mean it has to continue. And even right now, if you look at it very well, just this 2018 alone, we have lost not less than 150 lives to henchmen. Is that normal in any country? Are you telling us we should not just talk about it? Sir, please. We have to fear, we have to respect human lives. So that is what I'm trying to say. Back to Mr. Adiola, that some of these people that are coming together, they are those people that are lost out in the past. Yes, there is two ways to look at things in life, and you can't just be winning all the time. When you win this time, it doesn't really mean that those people that lost, they don't know what to do. It is just God that puts you there. And when you are there, you must think about those people that are not, that will never have opportunity of getting to where you are, and you remember them in all your activities. That is the only way that people can benefit from democracy. Then somebody, Big Daddy, talks so much about the women, talks about the parties that even in USA, there is two parties in USA. Sir, I want to assure you, and I want you to Google, you know that it is not only Democrats and Republicans are in USA. They have, if not more, I think over 50 parties in USA as we talk. So you can Google and find out that. And for all the parties, I wish saying the 68 delegate, party agents will be at the polling booth. That is the need for the coalition. The coalition may produce only one person for a vote, for a position, and so definitely it's not that everybody will be there. Then somebody asked a question, I think Fola from Basala, that that I said two things at the same time. No, I didn't say two things, don't miss it. What I said is that I did not condemn coalition. In fact, what I said was that the coalition, before Baba talk about coalition, there is coalition even since last year, July, that was ongoing, and they have been talking. So, but for the other side, that he said that I did not support coalition in another statement. I don't think so. I don't think I said something like that. But the truth of the matter is that the hardship, Egwuonwu, Tantishai, when they were coming on board, what they told us are so much. I mean, the present regime. If you can recall it, one of the ministers today said, if you're in government and you cannot fix electricity within 6 months, there's no point being there. If they know that leadership is not just as easy as it is, they wouldn't have said a lot of things while they are running their campaign. And Dr. Nkom said something, I have to go back there. Said the likes of GNI, the likes of UGD. I don't want to be personalized. I don't want to personalize issues. And I want us, when you are asking questions, let us look at Nigeria as a country. That we all belong to this country. Don't let us run anybody down, please. So if you are good, you are good. If you are bad, you are bad. And if you are good, pray for God to still guide you so you can be more better. Then somebody said they should scrap any party that has only one governorship candidate in the state. Even a party that produces governor, that means they have done a lot of job on the ground for the party to have somebody coming up to say, okay, I want to contest under your platform. So should we scrap a party that is growing when we have many that are not even producing councillors? So scrapping of party will never help us, because everybody, we are all entitled to our opinion, that there is freedom of association, freedom of coming together. So I don't want us to look at it from that angle. Let us be patriotic. Let us look at things and know that we must get things right. Somebody said Buhari will win election. I have never said Buhari will win, Buhari will lose. There is nothing. I have never made any statement to that effect. But all I said is that the younger ones who are not old enough in 1999 and who are not old enough even in this 2015 will participate immensely in the next elections, and nobody can determine and nobody can predict the outcome of the election, because they know what is happening. They are very, very exposed, and they know what they are facing in their various homes.
Okay. You want to react to the tweet earlier?
Tweet. There are so many of them. But I just want to say I appreciate them, because most of the question raised by the tweeters, some of those people that called, they talk about the same thing. So I think the tweet questions can only be answered by saying I appreciate you all.
All right, we have messages. This one says political parties are too many. Embarrassing that INEC chairman saying political parties are too much, may not be able to manage them well in elections. Whose fault is that? As electoral umpire, if they are sincere, why can't they devise ways to prevent easing out these mushroom political parties from being registered? All right, well, Ade sent that message, but
that's for the quick tweets.
Yeah, for the quick takes. Yeah, don't forget it was not the INEC chairman that said so. That's just a correction. It's the chief technical advisor to the INEC chairman. Abdurrashid Ekela says Coalition of Nigeria, Christianization of Nigeria, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN. I will still need more than 5 dictionaries to know the differences between the 3 groups. Nigerians need to be more careful and vigilant. God bless Nigeria, myself, and Roxy FM. Abdurrashid Ekela sent in that. Good morning. As for me, I don't believe in any movement where we are moving to. Is it from Egypt to Canaan land? They are birds of the same feathers. Nigeria's solution is revolution. We need person like Jerry Rollins. Pius from Shajet sent in that. The Enabling Act of INEC should be amended to give power to it to deregister non-functioning political parties and encourage independent candidates. Good morning. Amola Lutunde sent in that one. Ikechukwu Lisa says, Sir, can you agree with me that Obasanjo is creating confusion in this country? By the way, who are the members of the coalition? Are they not the same members of PDP and APC who have damaged this country years back? So what are we talking about? I see all this as a dirty game playing ahead of 2019 to confuse Nigerians. Okay, this one says, with all this party on ground now, it means that a governor may be elected with 1,000 votes in some states. Ikechukwu Lisa sent in that one. Permanent voters cards are available in the northern part of Nigeria to the extent that kids are issued. It's so scarce here that you can't get it with money. Why? That's Olu asking that question. Abiodun from Ward 4 Abiokota says, many Nigerians criticizing Buhari now are among leaders who destroyed this country in the past, exposing us to 419, increasing the rate of corruption and official corruption. Abdurrashid Ekela says, I love the man in the studio. He's a highly intelligent politician. I give it to him. But don't be surprised this coalition I mentioned earlier will become a political party where they did during the President Jonathan's reign. They all shared and looted our resources, thinking we are forgetful. No. Whatever alliance they form, we can still identify them. Let's wait and see. We are waiting to tell them that we are not gullible. It is now clear that OBJ is an agent of confusion. Let's assume that OBJ's coalition come to power in 2019. Nothing is going to change, and Nigerians will remain the same because OBJ has already spoken and rejected the call on restructuring. Ikechukwu Olisa said, sent in that message. Your final shot because of our time.
My final shot, the time is so off, but I want us to plead with those people that are handling the electoral, the empire there. Because if you look at it, give it to Jonathan. The last election, you see underage, 8 years old, voting in the north. And here we are following the rules here in the south. I want people to be focused on that.
Even collecting the PVC.
And they refuse to bring the PVC down. Unfortunately, the side where the first chairman of INEC came from is where we have children underage voting. And where they believe they will not have enough votes, they deny us that right.
Is it that INEC has refused to bring the PVCs, or people have refused to collect PVC?
They have to do the needful.
Because the collection rate is also very low. If you look at the percentage of people collecting.
Let us look at it from this angle. Let everybody that are entitled, that are really up to the age, goes all out to collect their PVC, because it is not by your own emotional statements or by your crying or by your prayer that can make it. Not the prayer can make a change. Don't let me. I don't please. So, but what we are really talking about is, please go and collect your PVC, and let us condemn the attitude of the northerners using the younger ones, the underage to vote, because I can't imagine 1.9 million votes in Kano without a void. 2015 election, please go and check. 1.9 voters in the north, in Kano state for that matter, and there is no void among the 1.9 votes. So the same, but in here, even as we can see naked with our own naked eye open here, we have in some booths where we have about 25 void votes. So please, let us be sincere with ourselves and let the North do the right thing. They have to, they do pray 5 times a day, and they must fear God in whatever they are doing. Okay. God bless Nigeria.
God bless you too. Thank you so much, Mr. Bola Oyedele, Chairman PPN Ogun State. We appreciate you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you very much
this morning. Thank you so
pleasure.
much for doing justice to the topic.
Thank you.
We also want to appreciate every one of you, those who just sat down quietly listening to the show. We hope you enjoyed it. Join us again tomorrow, if you did. 7 a.m. is the time for the Daybreak Show, all the way to 11. Those who sent in messages, those who tweeted, those who called, we appreciate every one of you. We would appreciate it if you keep your dialogue on 101.9 Rocks. We still have so many programs for listening pleasure. I am Tobi Joseph. Good morning.
And I am Chienye Egwuonwu. Thank you.